young black men thought process. It's a game played on young black men to make young black men feel like if you ain't a nigga, you ain't black. A nigga. If you ain't ignorant, you ain't black. If you ain't sell drugs, you ain't black. If you ain't hurt your people, you ain't black. And a lot of our conversations that we have is just basically coming from some of the things I did when I was younger that I'm ashamed of hurting my people in different ways, and showing him that that doesn't make you a black man. You know, society can have you chasing what they want. So society can have you chasing cars, clothes, women, jewelry. A lot of things, a lot of conversations I have with my kids is more so using my past experience to explain to them what it is, what it ain't, and basically showing them like, yo, your character is what make you 100. Like when I was younger, I thought clothes make you 100, jewelry make you 100, how many women you slept with make you 100, how many drugs you showed make you 100, how many people you physically beat up if you had to make you 100. But I really try to break down to them like, yo, your character is the only thing that make you 100. Your character. Like, what's up with your soul? What's up with your loyalty? What's up with how you treat people?
Building and stuff like that. We talked about the maturation, the maturity, growing from, our past and growing into adulthood and things like that. And I've been blessed and fortunate to be around, men who are fathers, who are family men and things like that. So what are some of the things that you learned from your past and your past life to, adulthood that you've been able to pass on to your sons or even just, into being a husband?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny you said that. Me and my son, the one on the picture you see, me and him been having a lot of conversations, man. Like, one of the things that's scary for me is just seeing how society play on black men thought process, young black men thought process. It's a game played on young black men to make young black men feel like if you ain't a nigga, you ain't black. A nigga. If you ain't ignorant, you ain't black. If you ain't sell drugs, you ain't black. If you ain't hurt your people, you ain't black. And a lot of our conversations that we have is just basically coming from some of the things I did when I was younger that I'm ashamed of hurting my people in different ways, and showing him that that doesn't make you a black man. I tell him, you more of a black man than I was because you never did anything to hurt your people. You know what I mean? Just having those conversations of using my past to guide him for his future. And letting him know, like, it's okay to play your game. Because a lot of times it's like, society can have you chasing what they want. So society can have you chasing cars, clothes, women, jewelry, weed. It ain't nothing wrong with smoking weed, but if you overindulging, your shit ain't up, you ain't on point. You fucking up. You know what I mean? Like, I tell my kids, I'm like, yo, smoking weed or drinking, that shit should be a celebration. What have you accomplished to celebrate? I mean, if you drinking all the time, you smoking all the time, you popping pills, whatever you doing, like, what have you done to celebrate, to show that you deserve to do these type of things? So, a lot of things, a lot of conversations I have with my kids is more so using my past experience to explain to them what it is, what it ain't, and basically showing them like, yo, your character is what make you 100. Like when I was younger, I thought clothes make you 100, jewelry make you 100, how many women you slept with make you 100, how many drugs you showed make you 100, how many people you physically beat up if you had to make you 100. But I really try to break down to them like, yo, your character is the only thing that make you 100. Your character. Like, what's up with your soul? What's up with your loyalty? What's up with how you treat people? The only thing that make you better than people, to me, is how you treat people and how you treat yourself. Outside of that, I don't care for how intelligent you is. I don't care what type of words you use. I don't care about if you're light skinned or you're dark skinned. I don't care if you're short, you're fat, you're tall, you're 8 foot tall, like you're short as a motherfucker. Right. None of that stuff mean anything. The only thing that really matters is how you treat yourself and how you treat people. And those are the type of things that I have conversation with him. I consistently drill that in his head. So he understand like this makes you shit is fake You get caught up in this shit, and then try to sell you some bullshit. You'll buy it, and you consistently chase this bullshit. And by the time you look up, you'll realize, like, yo, I've been chasing bullshit. Like me myself, I had a Mercedes when I was like 19 years old. It was my first car. I had diamonds on my mouth. I had jewelry, cars, women, all this shit, right? And sometimes you gotta get that shit to know it's fake shit. None of that shit mean nothing, bro. You know what I mean? And sometimes you gotta get up. You gotta get it to get out your system. And I try to break down to them, like, you don't need this shit, because I'm telling you, I had in this fake shit. You know what I mean? Like conversations like this more important than having all the clothes, all the jewelry, and all that stuff like that. A lot of the shit that they sell our young black men and young black women is really fake shit. Right. Consistent.
Right.
You know what I mean? No, I don't know if that answers your question.
No, of course, yeah, definitely. I mean, and just to kind of build off of that, you know what I mean? One of the things I noticed is the narrative that they want us to follow, because we don't have a lot of context to things that happen. Around it, so for instance, say, people that grow up, I was born in 89, right? If you was born in 1998 and you don't have context about where we come from, our history, our heritage, and all you knew was what you're taught in school, and you were given a certain path to walk, and they say, okay, well, this is good and this is bad. They're conditioning your mind to accept a certain, worldview, life path. And it feels like a lot of black people, we don't have the context around, this American dream. We don't have the context around why these gangs even formed in the first place. We don't have the context around why there's drugs in our communities. So we just see those things, and it's like you said, some people feel like, oh, well, this is what I gotta do. This is all I know. You know what I'm saying? The drug dealers was the superheroes. They was the one driving around in nice cars, and they would, the standard of success is materialism. And so if I know that the drug dealers have the cars and they're able to pay, put money and food on the table, they're able to pay people's rent, then that's what I gotta do. And if I know that the people in the hood are respected, or the ones that are shooting, beating people up, then we have TV that reinforces those images, and we have rap music that reinforces those images. So I see a lot of people losing the context exactly what the reality we live in. You know what I mean? And we need our fathers, that's how you answered the question so well, because we need our fathers to put the proper context, because we bring in not we, I don't have no kids, but they're bringing the actual wisdom from the past to add context to what's going on today. You know what I mean? So, no, I definitely answered the question. You know what I mean? It's just like, where do you see it maturing to, or where do you see it growing to? Because there's a lot of men and you know what I noticed? There are more men right now that are taking care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? I think that is becoming more of a thing, or they want to be. There's a thing of co-parenting, at least they're being in the kids' lives and things like that. But the generation where they miss the information, they might not know how to be a father.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like, I think any man know how to be a father. All you gotta do is just do what you want done for you. It's that simple. You know what I mean? Like, now, you could be, if you ignorant, sometimes, honestly, unfortunately, it might be better for you not to even be in that kid's life, or you're gonna ruin it. It's tricky, but I will say this, is like, if you're a black man, right, and you in America, you know what we up against. If you know you got kids out there, you need to do what you're supposed to do to make sure they protect from our perspective.
Well, they don't know what we up against. That'd be the thing. I feel like I know what we're up against because of my father.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying, because I do believe that some people are just
they don't know. They're ignorant to the fact of, and then it's like there's been so much of the white man, the system, where people have gotten tired of hearing it, and then there's so much your accountability, your choices, everything. They don't. And one of the things I've been doing about is talking about spiritual warfare, because I think that's a big part of what is going on in our reality.
I agree.
There's so much of the behind the scenes because we don't know how this thing actually works. When you talk about politics and legislation and the rules, we don't know how things work, so we don't really know what we're actually up against. When we're talking about the living in the hood, it's like, yo, all we know is living in the hood. You never really learned about public housing and how it started. You never really learned about redlining. You never really learned about, the zoning and how we were zoned in commercial district where there are no farm. They were living in food deserts. There are, well, here in Georgia, a little bit different because of the landscape. But when you living up top in the city, you ain't got no farms near you. I didn't have any farms growing up. You know what I mean? Like my first sight of like, forest areas, I moved to Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying? When I was living in New York, it was concrete jungle. We didn't know those things, but we didn't know, okay, these are the corner stores. That's how we got our groceries. You know what I'm saying? Or you gotta travel somewhere. I went to the corner store, poppy store, the orange store with food stamps. I thought food stamps were real money. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know these things, and so I was able to learn it, obviously, but there were certain people who, a lot of my friends didn't have their pops. You know what I'm saying? I got a cousin that ain't have his pops, and we grew up in the same. We used to take baths together because his pops wasn't around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like they grow up. They might not know.
He had your pops.
He did.
That's the thing. Sometimes it's like you might not have your father, but there's somebody around you saying something to you.
Man, but this is the thing. And these situations is my father was one of the men in the community, you know what I'm saying? But I don't see that as that's not happening a lot of times.